What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a brand new video, a quick tutorial on how to get better recoil control in this game. There are some basic tips I'm going to explain, some attachment tips I'm going to explain, what settings you need to use and what settings make a difference, and how attachments affect the way you have to control recoil. First of all, we're starting with settings. So your sensitivity actually matters a lot in how much you need to control your recoil. So the basic rule is when you don't move your mouse, recoil goes up. However, if you move your mouse down, you're gonna basically control the recoil. So right there you see a lot less recoil because I'm pulling my mouse down. Obviously this is a very basic tip, everyone knows this. But what happens when you use a lower sensitivity? I'm gonna drop this down to 0.1. Check how much I need to move my mouse to control this. Hopefully I can do this first try right away, because it's obviously not my sensitivity. Look how much difference that is. Now we're gonna try and control it. I might not be even able to control this sensitivity. Okay, so I'm literally pulling my mouse all the way down and I still can't control it. We're gonna try this again. So if I pull it down fast right there, you can see that I'm kind of controlling the recoil there at the very end. So this is a difference with high sensitivity and low sensitivity. With a lower sensitivity, when you're zooming in, the recoil goes up, but because your mouse sensitivity is lower, you need to move a lot more to compensate for the recoil that goes up. So having higher sensitivity makes you move less to control recoil, but obviously having a too high of sensitivity is going to be hard to aim unless you're used to that. But that's some of the difference you need to consider when you're using either a high or a low sensitivity. Next thing that matters is if you have ADS-FOV on or off, and if you use a high field of view. My field of view is maxed out. We're going to the settings. So here at graphic settings, you have your default FOV, which basically means that if you use a lower field of view, I'm going to try that out here, it's going to look like I will have a lot more recoil. You can see the gun bouncing around a lot. And then we're going to max out the field of view. It seems a little bit less bouncy, even though my recoil control is not top tier right now. So that's the difference field of view makes on the visual impact. This is just visual impact of if you control recoil and how it looks. So field of view makes a bit of a difference, but only visually. So if you see streamers and you're like, how does he have such low recoil? There might be a difference with your field of view and the streamer's field of view, or anyone you watch on YouTube basically. Now there's another setting that matters, and that's the scope magnification adapts automatically. Watch what happens. I have this turned on right now, which basically means my field of view stays almost about the same when I ADS. You can see there's not much zoom going on right now. Watch what happens when I turn this setting off. Turn it off right here. There's a lot more zoom, but also check the difference. It might maybe look like I have a little bit more recoil right now. The recoil control is basically staying about the exact same. But it's a field of view that makes a bit of a difference with how it visually looks. So personally, I prefer having this on. Now those are some of the basic settings you need to know for controlling recoil in this game. So get something you find comfortable with. Consider the sensitivity you're using with the recoil control. So how much you want to use your sensitivity, how much lower you want it or higher you want it, with keeping control over the recoil obviously. Next thing, we're going to do a little bit of a live test to see what attachments you need to use on your gun. So here we're going to put it to the test. We have 3 AKM builds here. One I made for control, which is this one. So watch, control here is 79, stability 36, handling 55, accuracy 49. So it's mainly about the control. I literally built this setup to have maximum amount of control. It's 79. Then I have a build that is maximum build around stability. So here it's 60, you can see, and control is 56. I couldn't get it higher than 60. And then we have a baseline AKM basically, which you can see control is 39 and stability is 40. This thing has no attachments. I only put the red dot sight on there, so we're going to put it to the test. So first we have the basic AK. We'll put it to the test. We're going to stand on this line, which is between 1 and 2, and we're going to start at the very bottom in the middle of this thing. And we're not going to control the recoil. That's very important. We literally made it to the ceiling right there. Right from there, you can see it go vertical up. Now here we are with the control build. Again, between 1 and 2. Stand right here. You can see that the red dot in the middle is barely moving on this build. And there you could see we made it from there all the way up to this. We didn't make it to the ceiling right there. So there is a bit of a difference when you use a control build. Sorry, the setup I was just using was the stability build. This is the control build. You see the difference it makes. This is fully built around control. So the first one literally made it to the ceiling. Then we had the stability build, which makes it to this point right there. And the control didn't even make it past this. We're going to shoot this again. Again, I'm not doing anything with my mouse. I'm just shooting. It doesn't even make it to this point. So that's the difference it makes for using control attachments or stability attachments. Now, obviously, for recoil control, you want to use the control attachments, but this also matters on what gun you're using. If you're already using a gun with low recoil, for example, you could try and switch it up and add some stability attachments on it, or give it more handling. Basically makes the gun a lot faster in handling and ADS speed. So there's a balance you need to take there when you're using low recoil or high recoil weapons. Now there's also a difference when you're using certain sights. So the more zoom your sights is going to have, the more recoil you need to control. You can check my hand again. So we're going to try and control the recoil. We're going for this middle target right here. Alright, so basically I only need to move my fingertips and able to control the recoil and keep it on target. Fortunately, the base AKM build has quite a bit of recoil around it. So keep that in mind. Literally only needing to use my fingertips. And we're going to start off here with a 3x scope. So here I have the 3x scope and check my hand again. You can see a lot more movement happening when you're using a higher zoom. Nothing has changed. My settings are still the same. It's just a higher zoom. I literally killed the player on the right first and then I killed this one. So when you're using higher zooms, you can see a lot further, but especially with automatic weapons, you also need to compensate for more recoil. You can basically do it with any sights. However, it gets a little bit more difficult when you're using higher zooms. Now we're taking it to the absolute extreme. This is the 8x scope, as you can see. I'm already going to move my mouse up a little bit more because I know I'm going to need the space. Again, my settings have not changed. It's just the level of a zoom. So the higher your zoom level is, again, the more recoil you need to control in terms of movement. The gun technically has the same amount of recoil and that doesn't change because all the other attachments are still the same, but you're going to need to compensate a lot more when you're using higher zooms. So these are some of the basic tips and tricks I wanted to give you guys for controlling recoil in Delta Force. What matters for your gun, what matters for your settings, what matters for the attachments you're using, and your placement, sensitivity, everything. Hopefully this video was useful. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Also, I'm linking a video from Ender's channel in the description. He went in depth a little bit more with the attachments, what to do on the attachments if you're a little bit confused for jumping in the game. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more Delta Force content on this channel. Tips and tricks, everything. We're making gun guides. We're making gameplay videos. Thank you guys for watching and hope to see you guys in the next one.